Good morning, students. Here we start with the gross anatomy of the left atrium. In the gross anatomy of the left atrium, first of all, if we draw this as the cross section of the left atrium over here, and we show this as the left atrium. So this will form the base of the heart, and below this will continue with the respective borders. So this is a sectional view from the posterior surface. So this will become the diaphragmatic surface. And here this will become the base of the heart. So therefore the left atrium, what are the features of the left atrium? Gross anatomical features of left atrium, the first point will be, it will form the base of the heart. So that is the first point, it will form the base of the heart. Second point of left atrium will be its posterior wall, where my hand is there. Its posterior wall will form the anterior part of oblique pericardial sinus. So it will form the anterior part of oblique pericardial sinus. The posterior wall of left atrium will form the anterior part of the oblique pericardial sinus. And similarly, it will have a very important projection, where my finger is there. Now this projection will be in the upper part of the left atrium, and it is directed upwards and medially. It is directed, if I put an arrow, upwards and medially. Towards the root of the pulmonary trunk. If this is the pulmonary trunk, it is directed towards the root of the pulmonary trunk. And here, along with pulmonary trunk, you can show the cross section of ascending aorta. This is the cross section of pulmonary trunk and ascending aorta, and we are viewing the heart from the posterior surface, from the posterior side. So therefore, this is the projection of left auricle. This projection is now called left auricle. This is the third important characteristic feature. So here I can write the left auricle. So what is left auricle? How do you define left auricle? It is a small projection from the upper part of the left atrium. And this projection will be directed towards upper, and medially, direction will be upwards medially towards the root of pulmonary trunk. That is the left auricle. So these are the three features present on external surface of the left atrium. Now, if you go inside the left atrium, what are the features which are present within the left atrium? Within the left atrium, first of all, we know that posteriorly, from posterior side, there will be opening of the four pulmonary veins. These are the four pulmonary veins which will open from the posterior surface of the left atrium. So therefore, these pulmonary veins, if I just mark it, they will open within the posterior wall of the left atrium. So the entire posterior wall of left atrium is comprised of the openings of pulmonary veins. Now, another diagram we would like to draw. So please come on this side. Here, if we draw the diagram, that will be a cross section. This is the left atrium, and similarly, this one will be the left ventricle. So this feature is left ventricle. We leave as it is. This is our left atrium. And then in between, we show the presence of the left atrioventricular orifice. So this is the left side atrioventricular orifice. The other name of this left atrioventricular orifice will be the mitral valve orifice, or it will be also known as the bicuspid valve orifice, because it is regulated by, and blood will flow from left atrium to left ventricle. So it is regulated by two cusps, bicuspid. That is why it is called bicuspid. And those two cusps, they are in this direction. These are the two cusps. Therefore, this is the left atrioventricular orifice which is present within the left atrium, but it is directed in its anterior part. So therefore, in the interior, here if I mention, I will just mention over here, the interior of left atrium. Within the interior of left atrium, the first point will be the posterior wall of left atrium will receive the openings of the four pulmonary veins, and it will communicate, the interior of left atrium will communicate with left ventricle through left atrioventricular orifice, which is present within its anterior part. So within its anterior part, it will communicate with left ventricle through left atrioventricular orifice. It will communicate with left ventricle through left atrioventricular orifice. So if you want to show in this sagittal section, where is the opening of the pulmonary veins? Then the openings of the pulmonary veins will be in this direction. These are the openings of the pulmonary veins. If you want in sagittal section, and these are the openings. All the 4 pulmonary veins will open from the posterior side. And inside the interior of left atrium, anteriorly it will communicate through left atrioventricular orifice into the left ventricle. That is the first point within the interior of left atrium, when you open the left atrium. First point. Second point, very interesting. The second point will be within the interior of the left atrium, the entire surface of the left atrium is very smooth, except, so the entire surface will be smooth except within the left auricle. The portion which I have discussed, the left auricle, the projected portion in the upward part, in the superior region of the left atrium, that small projection left auricle will contain musculi pectinati. This is very important. So, musculi pectinati are present within the left auricle. So, supposing if I would like to show in this diagram the presence of musculi pectinati, then over here I can show that this is the left auricle, and within this there will be so many musculi pectinati which are present in the left auricle. So here I can mark this as the left auricle and the presence of musculi pectinati. Many times it is asked in 1 mark question answer. The musculi pectinati in the left atrium are present within the left auricle only, and the remaining surface of left atrium, inside, interior of left atrium is smooth surface. So that is second point. Presence of musculi pectinati within the left auricle and the surface of left atrium smooth. Now the third point. The third point will be, if I write over here, the septal wall. The septal wall of the left atrium will have a concave semilunar surface or concave semilunar fold, and that fold, if I show it, that fold is having concavity upwards. So here if I show, this is the concave semilunar fold. So the atrial septum which is present within the left atrium, which is called the septal wall. When you open the left atrium, when you view inside, you see directly the septal wall. So the atrial septal wall will have presence of this semilunar fold with concavity upwards. So therefore the name itself will be, it will be known as semilunar fold. So this is the semilunar fold, concavity upwards. It is an embryological derivative of septum primum, this structure. Above this semilunar fold, there is a lunate shaped fossa. So above this there will be a lunate fossa. And this lunate fossa here, the name given will be lunate fossa or lunate shaped fossa above the semilunar fold. It is a embryological derivative of septum secundum. So these two features are present in the interior of the left atrium within the septal wall. Number 1, semilunar fold, and number 2, lunate fossa. Semilunar fold is a derivative of septum primum and lunate fossa is a derivative of the septum secundum. So altogether 1, 2 and 3, these 3 are the features of the interior of left atrium. Now clinical anatomy. In the clinical anatomy, if I just, please come on this side, if I just write down clinical anatomy of left auricle. These points are very important. Clinical anatomy of left auricle. Here, number 1. This left atrium is the potential site, rather left auricle. The left auricle is the potential site for the formation of thrombi. So therefore, the thrombi will be formed within the left auricle potential site, and whenever it is dislodged, it may cause cerebral embolism, or it may cause systemic embolism, or it may cause renal embolism. This is a frequently asked MCQ. Please note down. So within the applied anatomy, within the clinical correlations, within the clinical features of left auricle, it is a common site of the formation of thrombi, which when dislodged can cause cerebral embolism or systemic embolism or renal embolism. Please note down. Then the second important feature, the second clinical aspect of this left auricle, in mitral valvectomy, there will be resection of the left auricle. The left auricle may be resected. There may be resection of left auricle in which the surgeon prefers to do resection of left auricle. In those operative procedures, there are equal chances of damage to which structure, which is present around the left auricle? Circumflex branch of left coronary artery. There are equal chances of damage to the circumflex branch of left coronary artery. So therefore, these are the two important clinical features of the left auricle. With this, we end our topic of the gross anatomy of the left atrium. Thank you very much.